We're here in Santa Fe, New Mexico at Chris Madrid's shop.
It's Stanley.
Oh, we're in Stanley?
Stanley, yeah.
Oh shit, my bad. All right,
Start over.
cut. We're here in Stanley, New Mexico. We're here at Chris Madrid's shop, and he's gonna show us how to make hammers. He makes a lot of good hammers. He knows how to make them efficiently, so he's gonna take us through the process on how he makes them. So what do you start out with?
Yeah, so today we'll be making hammers out of, the steel is 1045, and the length is 3 3/8 long, and the width is gonna be 1 3/4.
And that'll make a
inches.
2-pound hammer, you
This
said?
will make right around a 2-pound hammer.
Okay. Would it be different if you're making a cross peen versus a regular turning hammer?
No, very similar.
Similar.
You're floating around there. Being that it's forged and ground, you're gonna lose a little bit of material, and so you're gonna be off just slightly in ounces, but yeah, you'll be right around that 2-pound area.
Cool. Well, let's get into it.
Fire in the hole. A little brush here. Now on the power handle, what I'm going to do is make a little flat spot. And this is going to help me find center when I go to punch it. Where my center is. Making sure that it's even on both sides of that eye. I'm going to punch my eye. I'm just going to lube it in, punch it down, lube it up, keep it lubed up. And I'm going to break through. Keeping it nice and lubed up so the punch goes in and out. I want the punch to go in and out. Go a little deeper every time. Kind of easy too. I want to go about 3/4 to 7/8 feet. Almost there. And then open it up high all the way. My pump. Like this. All right, now we're set up. Put the fuller in there. Just a little bit at a time. There you go. See, I'm just keeping this here good. I don't want to hold you lopsided. Just doing a little at a time. I want it to be precise. Doing a little at a time and keep moving. Off the side. And I let everything forward, kind of forge everything easy. We have a rubbed down hammer. So a lot of forging nuts, but you get the idea at this point. I've lengthened the hammers out. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to upfold it. Like I've done before, do a little bit on each side. Try to keep it evenly. And I'm going to round up the heads just a little bit. I'll do it in the end. Finish the product. Then you bring that surfaces. I can determine if it's a big round side or if it's my flat side. And you can do that before you start. You determine the round side, flat side from the get-go, but I prefer to just make them both flat and go from there. And go back in high and screw it up from both sides. I'm gonna work on cheeking. I will be cheeking around the eye. I prefer to do this handheld drift here. As I put it in, I just make sure it's staying square and straight. And again, a little at a time. I'll do some more from the other side. Cheeking it out, and I'm working up the size of that eye. Because we're working the top side of that drift, my eye will be more of a hourglass shape. The hourglass shape will help to hold hammer handles in there.
Basically, you gotta stop once it gets down cool to a certain temp, huh?
Yeah, I kind of just work that heat because I know the next one's coming. I'm doing 2 at a time, so I keep it moving. Just keep it moving, keep the steel hot. Kind of more of a quick heat type of deal. Yeah, this is more of my production. They go in straight ahead. Bites and everything towards nice and even.
And you call this step cheeking it or
yeah, this is cheeking.
Cheeking.
Yeah, you're fullering out the cheeks. That's fullering out the cheeks.
Fullering out the cheeks.
Fullering out the cheeks. Cheeks are beautiful. You can see it's starting to finish out.
Is there a desired thickness you shoot for on your cheeks?
I don't want to get these too thin here, but I know I'm in a good spot and I'm at the end of my drift. I know once I get up in here, it's time to wrap it up. I know that's a good spot. And I try to take them to the to the same spot every time, so my eyes are consistently sized.
Probably helps with handling them and
They're real similar every time. When I go to handle them, my handles are fitting more consistent. There's no telling how many hammers this drift has gone in the eyes. Cheeked out forged hammers. So I'm about ready to finish it up here. I'm just going to go in nice and smooth here. Right about there. That one there, I'm going to do one more time and stamp it.
is there a particular reason why you like the size of the cheeks to be wavy like that versus ground up flat?
Yeah, it just leaves a texture finish. And I like that texture finish. I think it looks cool. It looks like something was forged.
Personal preference?
Yeah, personal preference. I could forge them smooth and then grind them, but I like to leave that character to them.
That's unique to your own style.
Yeah. So go ahead and put our touch mark on here. That way they know who made it. When I'm dead and gone, people will know who made these tools. It's not a real high-tech situation here, but there's no telling how many hammers I've punched with that.
Getting work?
It's been worked. Cool. Two machines up here. Right here. Except the rest of the go in here and do our hole. It kind of makes your head for the hammers hardy. Package everything together. And I'll go through and finish the puller in. And just make it nice and clean. I'm trying to do my best getting the slide off. This is horrible to slide, but it is what it is. There was nice here. The finishing touches on. And unfinished. You can see the difference. It's all there.
That cleans it up nice.
Yeah. Some of that slide off. Is a horrible slide.
Ooh-wee, baby.
Here we go, we got it. Finished forged hammer. From there it'll It'll sit in the coke and be annealed. When we're done with the annealing, we'll go to the next process, heat treat.
And this is the part you said is annealing?
Yeah, I'll just let them cool down real slow right there. That coke insulates the heat, so it allows it to slowly cool down, which will give it the effect of annealing. So that'll somewhat normalize it or even soften it slightly. And then from there, we can grind. So that'll help with easier grinding. And then heat treat after that initial grind.
Basically, just don't light the fire in there and forget them hammers
Oh
in
no,
there.
yeah, no, that's the visitor side. The home side is on this side, so normally when I'm practicing, I'm over here.
On this side.
Next step after the forging is all done, we come to this point here, and I decide what I'm gonna make my flat side and my round side. So depending on the hammer, if I'm making an off-weighted hammer, I would pick this is my flat side and this is my round side. If I'm doing an even weighted hammer, I'm gonna pick this is my flat side and this is my round side. So that's what I'm gonna do for this demonstration purposes. This will be my flat side, and this will be my round side. So I'm gonna go ahead and...
Do you pick this side here because there's more material there to round it off?
Yeah, more material to round off, and that way I can grind that more to make it evenly. If I go flat here, it's just flat and done.
I see.
So, and this round is going to be obviously shorter by the time it rounds up. So it just seems like it's easier. And there's many ways. I mean, you ask 10 different guys and they'll give you 10 different answers. But for me, that's how I'm going to go about this, and we'll go from there.
Start grinding.
Yes, sir. With a heavy grit, this belt is a 40 grit, so it's going to be taking lots of material fast. So I want to get to the point real quick. So I start on my face. I'm just looking down the top, and I quarter turn each time. Quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn. I'm holding my hammer square to my flat. Square, square. So that way you get to as flat as I can. And I'm looking down. That gets me to a good flat point. Then I'm going to take my edge and I'm just going to knock that corner off. So there's roughed out. Then I'm going to come in here and I look in my eye and see where my head is. I'm just going to clean up the sides of his head. I'm holding it steady with this left hand. Keep it even. And applying even pressure. And when I've got it pretty close, I'll look down and make sure everything is staying square with my eye. And I'll come here on my soft side of the belt and finish up lightly. Now I've got that face flat. I'm going to come here with the slack of the belt, and I'm just going to let it kind of float across there. And I'm slightly making, using the slack allows my face to become slightly convex. I don't want it concave, I want it convex. If your face is concave, you'll hit the corner before the center. I want to hit the center before the corner. So what I mean by that is convex is slightly this way, right? So when I'm grinding on that slack, it's slightly grinding like that instead of flat or concave. If it's concave, you'll put edge, you'll hit the edges in your shoes or whatever you're working on. A lot of times you'll see a dent, and that's what it's coming from. But if it's convex, then the center's hitting and the edge will hit secondary. So I want that center piece doing the majority of that forging. And that'll allow me to forge nice and flat. And what I'm talking about here is real minor. It's not real, I'm not talking real aggressive. It's real close to flat, but slightly convex. Okay, we have our hammer ground. Now at this point, I'm gonna take it in and we're gonna do a thermal cycling. It's 3 heats. I take it up to a non-medic, let it air cool, and then we'll harden after that. So for today we're doing 1, but on my typical tool making process, I'm usually doing a batch of anywhere from 4 to 10. That's usually my spread right there. Anywhere from there, 4 to 10. So usually seeing 1 at a time for video purposes, but on a day-to-day production wise, I'm usually doing from 4 to 10.
And will you have them all kind of at various stages, or you'll do them all, so you do each step at the 4 to 10 at a time? 4 to 10. And then you just...
So if I forged 4 and I'm doing a batch of 4, it's 4 hardened, 4 tempered, 4 handled, 4 finished. If I'm doing 10, it's grind 10, on and on and on.
And then initially you just forge 2 at a time though. 2 at a time until you get to the 10.
The forging is all done 2 at a time.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now it's just a waiting game where we let that get up to non-magnetic and then you just let it air cool. We won't bore you too much with that because that's just bringing it up, let it cool, and then we'll rock on to the next step, finish grinding.
Yep. All right, so I get my heat up just to about a little bit past the red to an orange. I let it cool down. I put it in here in my forge. What's important when I'm doing this is to turn the lights off. And that'll give you an idea of when that heat is totally out of the hammer. Because I don't take another heat in this thermal cycling process until the color is gone. So you want to make sure that color's all the way out. And one way to do that is by turning off the lights.
It's got the second thermal cycle, and then you'll end up just doing one more after that, right?
And then we'll harden it. Just trying to get an even heat here. One head was slightly cooler than the other. So I'm looking in the dark so I can find that good consistent heat. And I'm just going to heat up this side. I think I'm good there. As I quench this, I go in a figure 8 motion. That was taught to me by some blacksmiths to help quench evenly. And you can kind of
help circulate the water, right?
As well, yeah. It circulates all around the hammer. In and out. Figure 8 motion. And you can see how it's quenched and it's kind of got that white. Robert Jukes calls it the speckled egg. That usually is a good indication that your hammer's hard. So now, next process is going to be grinding to a finish and then tempering. So what that does is it tempers your head so they're not fracturous, and it softens the center of the hammer. So when you temper with your drift, your hot drift, the center is soft and your heads are hard. So that allows good rebound. Allows the inertia of the hammer to go somewhere. All right, this hammer has been hardened. Now we're headed to the next stage. I'm gonna wire wheel all the slag off and I'm gonna finish grinding the heads and we will go to a tempering stage after that.
Fresh and clean.
Huh?
Fresh and clean.
All freshened up, ready for the dance. Hammer cleaned up with the wire wheel, and now I'm just gonna go through and start finishing the grinding. I'm gonna drop down in grit. So I started at 40 grit, now we're hitting a 120 grit, and then we'll hit a 220 grit and finish at that point. All right, time to do some tempering. These are my drifts that go in hot. These are my tempering drifts. And at this point, we just wait. We'll go in the eye both directions until these start to turn a straw color. So after several heats, you'll get to see that color change. Once it hits that straw, we know we've hit our temper. All the cheeking there is going to turn purple, and all that heat's going to dissipate into the heads, and your heads will turn straw. But it's coming. You can see it start to come. See it? It's starting to change there.
Getting some color change.
Yeah, you'll see that straw. The heads are turned straw. It's time to totally quench it off. And just go back in that salt water, and it's done. I go in the oil after because it's salt water, and the oil just helps with the salt rusting the steel. That's my whole thing with the oil. The oil's not really doing much but preventing the total rusting. There's other ways you can do it, but that's one way. That's one way around it.
Sweet.
Now from there we go to putting the handle in.
Making handles.
Okay, you can find these handles on my website. This is what I use to do all my handles. When I begin, I look through the eye and look at what I have for material on my wood handle and go to grinding from there.
Hope you guys enjoyed watching this process. I've already gotten to do a process with Riley Kirkpatrick making a hammer and Troy Wood making a hammer, and Chris Madrid, he's also on the scene, you know, making the best hammers and putting them out there. So thanks for showing me your process.
Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for coming. And yeah, if anyone's interested in any of my tools that I sell, hammers to tongs to little ins and outs here and there, go to madridforge.com and you can find what you're looking for. And we just appreciate everybody coming by and checking it out. We, always like to share a little bit of what's going on, and you get to see my day-to-day process of what happens in here.
And they've stayed up to the test of time. You know, they can take a beating.
I use my hammers and my tools, and yeah, just keep on forging away.
Yeah. Cool.